The old Victorian mansion stood like a ghost against the Detroit skyline, its broken windows reflecting nothing but darkness. Weeds had claimed the front yard, and the paint peeled from its walls like old skin. Across America and around the world, ultra-wealthy individuals are quietly purchasing abandoned properties that others wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. From crumbling factories in Rust Belt cities to empty mansions in foreclosed suburbs, these properties represent something far more valuable than their current dilapidated state suggests. To most people walking by, it was just another casualty of urban decay, another reminder of dreams that died with the city's economic collapse. While most investors stayed away from these seemingly worthless assets, a small group of visionary wealthy individuals saw opportunity where others saw only decay. Even after factoring in renovation costs, environmental cleanup, and permits, these properties often represent incredible value compared to new construction. The key is having the capital to hold these properties during the transformation period and the vision to see their potential. The mall had been empty for over a decade, its stores boarded up and its parking lot cracked with neglect. Many abandoned properties sit in areas that were once thriving but fell victim to economic shifts, demographic changes, or poor planning decisions. The building had sat empty for 15 years, accumulating unpaid taxes and falling into disrepair. Wealthy buyers can afford to hire the best professionals, navigate complex regulatory requirements, and fund extensive renovations. When wealthy individuals purchase and renovate abandoned properties, they often catalyze broader neighborhood improvements. Property values in surrounding areas typically increase, local governments benefit from restored tax revenue, and communities gain new amenities and economic opportunities. However, critics worry about improved gentrification and the displacement of existing residents who can no longer afford to live in neighborhoods. They can also afford to be patient, holding properties for as long as permits are obtained and market conditions improve. Unlike purchasing already developed properties, buying abandoned buildings allows for complete creative control over the final outcome. Every design decision, every renovation choice, every aspect of the property's new identity becomes a personal expression. Sophisticated mapping software can identify abandoned buildings, while big data analytics help predict which neighborhoods are most likely to experience future growth. Foreign buyers often see exceptional value in U.S. real estate markets, especially properties available at deeply discounted prices due to abandonment. They bring different perspectives on potential uses and may have access to different markets and financing sources. Some wealthy buyers employ teams of researchers who continuously scan property records, tax databases, and municipal reports to identify promising opportunities before they hit the general market. Foreclosed mansions become bed and breakfasts or corporate retreat centers. Each transformation proves that with sufficient vision and resources, even the most forgotten properties can find new purpose and profitability. Properties in areas prone to flooding, wildfires, or extreme weather events may remain abandoned longer, creating opportunities for buyers willing to invest in climate resilience measures. These wealthy buyers aren't just accumulating assets, they're reshaping communities, preserving architectural heritage, and demonstrating that what appears worthless to some may be priceless to others. Some wealthy individuals are specifically targeting abandoned properties in climate-safe regions, betting that demographic shifts will eventually drive demand to these areas. The city was desperate to find a buyer willing to take responsibility for the property. Abandoned properties in previously undesirable locations suddenly became attractive options for companies seeking affordable space and individuals looking for unique living situations. The pandemic also created new categories of abandoned properties as businesses failed and commercial real estate markets shifted dramatically. Robert saw past the broken machinery and water damage to envision something extraordinary, a mixed-use development combining residential lofts, retail spaces, and creative studios. However, urban renewal patterns show that neighborhoods often cycle through periods of decline and revival. The wealthy buyers understand these cycles and position themselves to benefit when areas inevitably bounce back. Previous owners may have defaulted on loans, left behind hazardous materials, or failed to maintain basic systems. Due diligence becomes critical, requiring teams of lawyers, engineers, and environmental specialists to assess each potential purchase. Local officials were thrilled to have someone take it off their hands, even at rock-bottom prices. But Sarah wasn't buying it to flip it quickly for profit. She had a different vision entirely. There's something deeply satisfying about rescuing a forgotten building and giving it new life. These wealthy individuals often speak about feeling like urban archaeologists, uncovering the stories hidden within abandoned walls. Each property comes with its own history, its own character, its own potential for rebirth. They understood something that the average person missed. Abandoned properties aren't just empty buildings, they're blank canvases waiting for transformation. But to Marcus Chun, a tech billionaire from Silicon Valley, it was pure gold. Marcus wasn't alone in his fascination with forgotten places. The phenomenon began subtly after the 2008 financial crisis. when thousands of properties were abandoned as families lost their homes and businesses closed their doors. Sarah Wellington, a hedge fund manager from New York, discovered this truth firsthand when she purchased an entire abandoned shopping mall in Ohio for less than the cost of a luxury car. The secret behind this trend lies in understanding value that others cannot see. These wealthy buyers aren't just purchasing buildings, they're investing in potential. An abandoned warehouse in Brooklyn might become artist studios and tech startup offices. A foreclosed mansion in suburban Atlanta could be transformed into a boutique hotel or event venue. A defunct shopping center might house everything from indoor farms to entertainment complexes. The financial mathematics are compelling. When you can purchase a 100,000 square foot building for the price of a modest suburban home, the cost per square foot becomes almost negligible. Location plays a crucial role in these calculations. Take the story of Robert Kim, who bought an abandoned textile factory in Portland for a fraction of its original value. The emotional appeal of these properties extends beyond mere financial calculations. The process isn't without challenges. Abandoned properties often come with environmental issues, structural problems, and complex legal situations. But for those with sufficient resources, these challenges become manageable obstacles rather than insurmountable barriers. The social impact of this trend cannot be ignored. Technology has made identifying potential properties easier than ever before. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated this trend as remote work arrangements made location less critical for many businesses and individuals. Climate change considerations are increasingly influencing these investment decisions. The psychological satisfaction of transformation shouldn't be underestimated. Many wealthy property buyers describe feeling energized by the challenge of bringing abandoned buildings back to life. International investors have also joined this trend, particularly focusing on American abandoned properties. The success stories continue to multiply. Abandoned churches become wedding venues and community centers. Empty factories transform into food halls and makerspaces. This trend represents more than just savvy real estate investing. It reflects a broader philosophy about finding opportunities in unexpected places and believing in the possibility of transformation.